So I was looking at the pros and cons of Lightning Rod, and I immediately was thinking that it's a pretty short ride. Wait, that's not really fair. It just seems short because it has a launched lift hill. So I timed it from the start of the launch to the final brakes and compared it to other RMCs and was pretty surprised at what I found. That gave me the idea for today's video. This is how every RMC ranks up in terms of delivering prime ride time. There are 19 RMCs open by the end of 2019, but 2 are clones, so there will be 18 entries. I started the clock at the time the front car starts picking up speed off the lift hill, and stopped the clock as soon as it hit the final brakes. The parks love to boast 3-minute ride times that are boosted up by the time on the lift hill and the brake run, but honestly, who cares about that? The speed will also vary based on the POV, the time of day, the weight on the train, and in some cases, the type of wheels used at the time the POV was shot can make the time fluctuate, but I did the best I could with this. So if you time it yourself, it may be off by a few seconds. Let's start the countdown. Number 18 should be no surprise to anyone, clocking in at just 30 seconds. These are the Raptor clones, Railblazer at California's Great America, and Wonder Woman at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. These are far and away the shortest in track length with 1,800 feet and are famous for their incredible pacing. These are fast and furious and packs a complete ride into its 30 seconds. Number 17 is another RMC that's considered too short, and with 34 seconds of ride time, we have Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags over Georgia. Six Flags New England's Wicked Cyclone was another Cyclone clone that got RMC'd, but that one was given a third lap around its course. Twisted Cyclone does not have that. It ends abruptly after its second lap, but it packs a lot of good elements into its 2,400 feet of track. But that ride is over after just 34 seconds. It's the second shortest RMC in length and duration. Number 16 has 500 feet on Twisted Cyclone, but adds just 3 more seconds of ride time. With 37 seconds, we have Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. With a 162-foot drop and a top speed of 68 miles per hour, there's no wonder why Outlaw Run can cover more ground than the 100-foot, 50-mile-per-hour Twisted Cyclone. Outlaw Run has just under 3,000 feet of track, and it's seen as a short ride. And it is the 4th shortest RMC in terms of track length, but it clearly has some superior pacing. Number 15 is definitely not the model of pacing, but it adds about 300 feet to Outlaw Run and 1 extra second of ride time. Clocking in at 38 seconds, we have Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. With a top speed of 70 miles per hour, this hybrid flies through a lot of its course, but the pacing dies at the top of the quarry wall, which does add to the ride time. But the fact that it's near the bottom of this list, but closer to the middle of the track length list, ranking 11th out of 18, shows that it runs pretty fast. Number 14 is the last of the RMCs that's constantly belittled for being too short, and it comes in at 39 seconds. Goliath at Six Flags Great America. This actually has about 160 feet less track compared to Iron Rattler, and has a top speed 2 miles per hour higher. This is another fast and furious ride that does slow down a bit in its stall, as designed, but for the most part, flies through its 3,100 feet of track. Number 13 is rarely, if ever, criticized for being a short ride, but it has just 2 seconds more of ride time than Goliath. With 41 seconds, this is Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom. This also has 200 feet less track than Outlaw Run, and is the 3rd shortest RMC in terms of track length, standing at 100 feet and hitting a top speed of 52 miles per hour. Despite the weaker stats, RMC did a great job making its elements proportional to its height to maximize the strength of its airtime. I think people focus on how strong the airtime is over how small and short it is. One other interesting fact is that the original POV from before they changed the wheels was 6 seconds longer than the newer one, so the ride is definitely moving faster than it was 4 years ago. Number 12 is a brand new world-class coaster clocking in at 46 seconds, Zadra at Energylandia. The striking factor here is that Zadra boasts over 4,300 feet of track and has the 4th longest track length of any RMC despite ranking 12th for ride duration. 206 feet tall, over 75 miles per hour, no mid-course brakes, this coaster absolutely flies. It has the most drastic gap between duration and track length of any coaster on this list, which is impressive. Those will be a crazy 46 seconds. Number 11 has over 1,000 feet less of track than Zadra, but has 1 extra second of ride time. With 47 seconds, it's Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Its height and speed are about the same as Twisted Cyclone, but it has 800 feet more of track, which adds 13 seconds of ride time. It's definitely not the fastest RMC out there, but with its focus on inversions, it makes for some good hang time, but its airtime hills are considerably weaker than other RMCs on this list. Number 10 is closer to the bottom in track length, but is right in the middle of this list. With 48 seconds, it's Medusa Steel Coaster at Six Flags Mexico. It sits right between Outlaw Run and Goliath with just 3,000 feet of track, but it has about 10 seconds more of ride time. I haven't ridden this yet, but it seems to get a lot of praise from people who also haven't ridden it. But this kind of pacing is concerning. If you've ridden Medusa and noticed any pacing issues, let me know in the comments. Number 9 is right in the middle for both track length and duration. With 49 seconds, it's Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. It ranks in 9th place in both categories and wasn't blessed with a structure that gave it a whole lot to work with. Hurler wasn't all that big, so Twisted Timbers stands just 111 feet tall and hits 54 miles per hour. So it does a good job staying low to the ground with great airtime moments and well-placed inversions. It has 2 laps around the course, 3 if you count the barrel roll down drop and the turn around the station, and it doesn't feel like a short ride at all. Number 8 is another coaster that lines up perfectly with track length and duration. With 51 seconds, it's Untamed at Wallaby Holland. Not every RMC hybrid conversion can be blessed with a big structure to start with, so RMC does what they can with these coasters that barely crack 100 feet. With a 116-foot drop and a speed topping 57 miles per hour, Untamed provides a respectable 51 seconds over 3,500 feet of track, so nothing out of the ordinary here. Number 7 is the coaster that started this whole quest. At 52 seconds, it's Lightning Rod at Dollywood. I started the clock as soon as the train hit that launch, so this is the only RMC that gets to include its lift hill and its ride duration. Lightning Rod is 7th in terms of ride duration and also track length, so it doesn't enjoy any advantages or disadvantages over the other RMCs because of its launch lift. It just gives its riders less boring ride time as they would normally climb up a chain lift. Topping out at 73 miles per hour, this flies through the course, and anyone who has ridden it knows that it's a relentless ride. And to answer my original question, no, Lightning Rod is not a short ride. Number 6 is the coaster I would always compare Lightning Rod with when it came to length. At 57 seconds, it's Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England. This and Lightning Rod have both been sitting in my top 5 for almost 4 years now, and I always thought Wicked Cyclone was a much longer ride. It does have 5 extra seconds of ride time, despite having almost 500 feet less of track. Wicked Cyclone is 6th in ride duration and 10th in track length. Unlike Twisted Cyclone, it was blessed with a 3rd lap around the course, but it has a hard time making it through. Even though this makes for a fun inversion, it gets a little frustrating that it runs this slow and slides into the brake run. Still, I'd rather have that 3rd lap than not have it. It would just be nice if they added a little bit more height when they did the conversion, so it would have a little bit more speed throughout its course. Number 5 is one of the most unique RMCs on this list, other than Lightning Rod. At 60 seconds, it's Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Unlike the other RMCs, this has 2 lift hills which inflates its track length, coming in 3rd place with 4,990 feet. From drop to brakes on the blue side, it's 30 seconds. From drop to brakes on the green side, it's, you guessed it, 30 seconds, bringing the actual ride time to 60 seconds, which is very strong. It's basically 2 rides on the RMC Raptor for the price of 1. So Twisted Colossus can boast a ride time of over 4 minutes because of the lift hills, but the actual legit ride time is also solid. Number 4 is a monster coaster that's new for 2019. At 61 seconds, it's Haguke at Nagashima Spaland. This started with a massive structure, and RMC even added some height to get it up to 180 feet. This is the 2nd longest RMC in track length with just over 5,000 feet. Its length and duration are on par with Twisted Colossus, but taking that 2nd lift hill into account, Haguke definitely has stronger pacing. This is only 4 seconds longer than Wicked Cyclone despite having 1,700 feet more of track. These are really strong, promising stats, and it's no wonder that the people who have ridden it were really blown away by it. Number 3 is the longest wooden coaster on this list. With 63 seconds, it's Wildfire at Colmarden. Not only does this have a great setting with a long layout of 4,150 feet, it's got over a minute of actual ride time. Its ride time is boosted a little by the 270-degree turn after the lift hill, which I did include in the ride time. If you took that out and started the clock when it starts picking up speed down the first drop, it shaved 9 seconds off the ride time, which would drop it from 3rd to tied for 6th with Lightning Rod. But I chose to include it, which makes Wildfire among the longest RMCs out there. Number 2 is the original. With a 68-second duration, it's New Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas. It's no secret that this is a long ride. It ranks 5th among RMCs with 4,200 feet of track, right between Wildfire and Zadra. Zadra has 117 feet more of track, but it finishes its course a whopping 22 seconds quicker than New Texas Giant. Try and wrap your head around that one for a second. New Texas Giant has plenty of height and speed, with a 147-foot drop hitting speeds of 65 miles per hour, and it does have a mid-course brake run which doesn't really slow the train down much at all. That final lap around the course really crawls, and that's what really drives up the ride time. When the ride is warmed up, it could finish up to 5 seconds faster, but that would still put this right on par with Wildfire's duration. Zadra's pacing puts a lot of coasters to shame, but it seems like there's no better example of this than New Texas Giant. Number 1 is far and away the king of RMCs when it comes to length and duration. At 77 seconds, it's SteelVance at Cedar Point. It exceeds New Texas Giant by 9 seconds and Haguke by over 700 feet. One contest I'm especially interested in is to see how this is paced compared to Zadra. As it stands, SteelVance has 31 more seconds of ride time and over 1,400 more feet of track. These coasters stand right around 200 feet, give or take a few. At its average pace, Zadra would need 15 more seconds to complete SteelVance's track length, a full 16 seconds faster than SteelVance does it. That is insane. SteelVance feels like it has strong pacing throughout, and it doesn't feel like it loses its speed much, even through the final lap before the Bunny Hill finale. I think it's the best coaster of all time, but now, more than ever, I need to get to Poland to ride Zadra. So that's a wrap for this list. I came in here wanting to find out how Lightning Rod stacked up with the rest of the RMCs, but ended up finding things out about Zadra that I couldn't believe. Let me know which RMCs you've ridden in the comments below, and which ones felt too short, or lagged with the pacing, or totally knocked your socks off. I want to hear it. Don't forget to leave this video a like, and if you're not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And I'll see you guys all next time.